Welcome back to my library. Today we're going to be reading some more poems from Where the Sidewalk Ends, Poems and Drawings by Shel Silverstein. Warning. Inside everybody's nose, there lives a sharp-toothed snail. So if you stick your finger in, he may bite off your nail. Stick it farther up inside, and he might bite your ring off. Stick it all the way, and he may bite the whole darn thing off. Treehouse. A treehouse, a free house, a secret you and me house, a high up in the leafy branches, cozy as can be house. A street house, a neat house, be sure and wipe your feet house, is not my kind of house at all. Let's go live in a treehouse. The Flying Festoon. Oh, I'm going to ride on the Flying Festoon. I'll jump on his back and I'll whistle a tune. And we'll fly to the outermost tip of the moon, the Flying Festoon and I. I'm taking a sandwich and a ball and a prune, and we're leaving this evening precisely at noon, for I'm going to fly with the Flying Festoon, just as soon as he learns how to fly. No difference. Small as a peanut, big as a giant, we're all the same size when we turn off the light. Rich as a sultan, poor as a mite, we're all worth the same when we turn off the light. Red, black, or orange, yellow or white, we all look the same when we turn off the light. So maybe the way to make everything right is for God to reach out and turn off the light. Invisible Boy. And here we see the invisible boy in his lovely invisible house, feeding a piece of invisible cheese to a little invisible mouse. Oh, what a beautiful picture to see! Will you draw an invisible picture for me? Tight hat. I tried to tip my hat to Miss McGaffrey. I never should have put it on so tight, 'cause it wouldn't come off my head, and my neck got stretched instead. That's what you get for trying to be polite. Peanut butter sandwich. I'll sing you a poem of a silly young king who played with the world at the end of a string, but he only loved one single thing, and that was just a peanut butter sandwich. His scepter and his royal gowns, his regal throne and golden crowns were brown and sticky from the mounds, and drippings from each peanut butter sandwich. His subjects all were silly fools, for he had passed a royal rule that all that they could learn in school was how to make a peanut butter sandwich. He would not eat his sovereign steak, he scorned his soup and kingly cake, and told his courtly cook to bake an extra sticky peanut butter sandwich. And then one day he took a bite and started chewing with delight, but found his mouth was stuck quite tight from that last bite of peanut butter sandwich. His brother pulled, his sister pried, the wizard pushed, his mother cried, "My boy's committed suicide from eating his last peanut butter sandwich." The dentist came and the royal doc. The plumber banged and knocked, but still those jaws stayed tightly locked. Oh, darn that sticky peanut butter sandwich. The carpenter, he tried with pliers. The telephone man tried with wires. The firemen, they tried with fire, but couldn't melt that peanut butter sandwich. With ropes and pulleys, drills and coil, with steam and lubricating oil, for 20 years of tears and toil, they fought that awful peanut butter sandwich. Then all his royal subjects came, They hooked his jaws with grappling chains and pulled both ways with might and main against that stubborn peanut butter sandwich. Each man and woman, girl and boy, put down their plows and pots and toys and pulled until, crack! Oh joy! They broke right through that peanut butter sandwich. A puff of dust, a screech, a squeak. The king's jaws opened with a creak. And then in a voice so faint and weak, the first words that they heard him speak were, "How about a peanut butter sandwich?" Lazy Jane. Lazy, 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 lazy Jane. She wants a drink of water, so she waits and waits and waits and waits and waits for it to rain. Santa and the Reindeer. "This is the hour," said Santa Claus. "The bells ring merrily." Then on his back he slung his pack, and into his sleigh climbed he. "On Dancer, on Prancer, on Donner and Blitzen, on Comet and Cupid," cried he. And all the reindeers leaped but one, and that one stood silently. He had pulled the sleigh for 1,000 years, and never a word spoke he. Now he stood in the snow, and he whispered low, "Oh, what do you have for me?" "I have games and toys for girls and boys," said Santa cheerily. The reindeer stood as if made of wood. "But what do you have for me?" "The socks are hung, the bells are rung," cried Santa desperately. The reindeer winked at a falling star. "But what do you have for me?" Then Santa reached into his beard, and he found a tiny flea, and he put it into the reindeer's ear, and the reindeer said, "For me? Oh, gee!" And into the blue away they flew with the flea. And the moral of this Yuletide tale, you know as well as me. The toucan. Tell me who can catch a toucan? Lou can. Just how few can ride the toucan? Toucan. What kind of goo can stick you to the toucan? Glue can. Who can write some more about the toucan? You can. The planet of Mars. On the planet of Mars, they have clothes just like ours, and they have the same shoes and same laces, and they have the same charms and same graces, and they have the same heads and same faces, but not in the very same places. Love. Ricky was L, but he's home with the flu. Lizzie, R.O., had some homework to do. Mitchell, E, probably got lost on the way. So I'm all the love that could make it today. The dirtiest man in the world. Oh, I'm Dirty Dan, the world's dirtiest man. I never have taken a shower. I can't see my shirt, it's so covered with dirt, and my ears have enough to grow flowers. But the water is either a little too hot, or else it's a little too cold. I'm musty and dusty and patchy and scratchy and mangy and covered with mold. But the water is always a little too hot, or else it's a little too cold. I live in a pen with 5 hogs and a hen, and 3 squizzly lizards who creep in my bed, and they itch as I squirm and I twitch in the cruddy old sheets that I sleep in. If you look down my throat with a flashlight, you'd note that my insides are covered with rust. I creak when I walk, and I squeak when I talk, and each time I sneeze, I blow dust. The thought of a towel and some soap makes me howl, and when people have something to tell me, they don't come and tell it, They stand back and yell it. I think they're afraid they might smell me. The bedbugs that leap on me sing me to sleep, and the garbage flies buzz me awake. They're the best friends I've found, and I fear they might drown, so I never go too near a lake. Each evening at 9 I sit down to dine with the termites who live in my chair, and I joke with the bats and have inmate chats with the cooties that crawl through my hair. I'd brighten my life if I'd just found a wife, but I fear that that never will be, until I can find a girl gentle and kind, with a beautiful face and a sensitive mind, who sparkles and twinkles and glistens and shines, and who's almost as dirty as me. And that's the end of the poems today. Which one was your favorite? Why did you like that one best? Make sure you like and subscribe so you're here for whatever we read next. See you soon.